Alrighty, it is currently 5:39 p.m. It's Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. And this is called light activity. This is Mickey, she's a demon. She has double shadows. She's monitoring, and so are the employees that go into this door back here, stalking with noise, which they are strategically engaging in what is engineered light. It's a strategic insofar as the elements of monitoring are seamlessly and conveniently underway when you're engaging in what is gang stalking, which is committed in furtherance of murder, which is what Mickey is engaging in while she is stalking maliciously as a employee at a facilitating venue. That's relevant to what is malice. This is demonic pacing. This is the impossible. Engineered light is, because it's not sunlight that would stretch in through the depths of a building under any circumstances, and especially not outside of the entrance of what is this building that has an extensive entry right here. This is the OVITT Family Community Library, and this entry right here, just want to show you, is an extensive entrance, just so you can look at it. And that entrance reaches into the depths of underneath the structure. This is all manner of impossible light activity while you're looking at it right now. At the same time, that door closure occurs at the same time Mickey is a demon. Okay. Also engaging in what is, by the way, I want to be clear, the maintenance of this light source right now. This is captured at the Ontario Town Square, where I walk to the entrance of the library, which I'm inside of right now at 5:41 p.m. And you're looking at what is under no circumstances going to be the presence of the sun, nor the presence of this light activity inside of the building, even if that was the sun in a natural environment, which would require that it wasn't outside of the same entrance at 10 o'clock in the morning, like I documented on October 11th, 2025 at 11:01 a.m. I'm documenting the fake sun on a daily basis. I did document that today as well. But I just want to show you what is recognizing gang stalking. And this is where the entity is stalking by planes and helicopters and doing so on behalf of the people. So in other words, these are the government actors that don't have access to helicopters and planes. They engage in one of the elements of monitoring by being present in the absurdly demonic and obvious crime scene where criminal surveillance is underway. Okay, so the entity is engaging in what is the pattern of conduct while you are walking in it. This is light activity and crossing paths, stalking me while I'm sitting at the desk, doing so while you're having conversations and doing so while you're walking in and out, and everything that they do is pursuant to monitoring me, including my genitalia, inside of what is a facilitating venue. This is where the entity committed kidnapping at 10:26 in the morning, 10:29 in the morning, and the fake sun is over the entrance. What you're looking at the bottom is me walking from the Ontario Town Square, where when you're looking at, let's go ahead and pause this really quick. This is captured at 11 o'clock in the morning. Coming from the Ontario Town Square, this is supposed to be entertaining some sort of illusion that the sun is at some sort of distance where it's aimed into the entrance of this venue, where actually the entity is maintaining an environment that is entirely implausible. And the demon-possessed are clearly not interested in maintaining anything realistic while they're engaging in that pattern of conduct. And it's also not a coincidence that one of the kidnappers monitoring with the Ontario Police is crossing path. That's what that is. That's impossible light. They're monitoring, and they're also monitoring genitalia while they are crossing path and doing so in a specific environment. That's somebody that's creating light activity at a tremendous distance away. Light is not going to reach inside of the depths of a building and also underneath the desk. This is absolutely demonic. The use of communication devices, presence in that environment. This is where the entity is maintaining what is noise. Outside that noise includes helicopter activity. It includes plane activity. It includes the maintenance of a fake sun all day long. The entity fills the venue with impossible light. Okay? The illusion here is that the sun is going to be at some sort of distance, like you see here, when you're looking at it outside of the same doors of this entrance at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's 5:43 p.m. This is the pattern of conduct where the demon-possessed are gang stalking. Okay? Those participating in kidnapping are going to federal prison. This is called malice. And they are the same ones that act with that same level of malice while the Ontario Police engage in ongoing terrorism, stalking, and helicopter. Okay? They engage in that conduct. Her shadow's appearing on the inside while she's outside. That's impossible light activity. But this is the fake sun that's outside of the same entrance. It's systematic monitoring inside. This is the evidence of where the entity committed kidnapping on June 16, 2022. Every time that the entity is engaged in criminal summoning, covering up the fake son, engaging in what are acts of malice relevant to what is psychological torture, sexual violence, and what is under no circumstances having any son, for example, in Florida, when I'm documenting it, remaining at 215 EC Street. We're systematic monitoring. That is surveillance on communication devices, where you are looking at what is the sun that is over me at the entrance is still present at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's still present at what is 5:44 in the evening. This is where the entity is engaged in what is monitoring everything that I'm doing on the internet. That's John. John's systematically engaged in monitoring, and he's monitoring while he walks in and out with that impossible light activity. That's the same tactic that the entity employs while you're looking at the entity that is gang stalking me by planes and helicopters at the Ontario Town Square. So I just want to rewind this because this is shattering the illusions that I've shown you the demon-possessed maintain. The fake sun is right now, never mind all these other videos, but in the morning, the fake sun is at this Ontario Town Square. This is the Ontario Town Square over here. So the fake sun is moved to be in alignment with where my person is positioned. All right. This is 5:45 in the evening. I'm capturing the illusion of the fake sun that's already over the Wells Fargo in the morning along this C Street as I walk to this venue. And the entity moves the fake sun to be in alignment with the same Ontario Town Square where it is like in the morning, where I am at that venue in the morning time, for example. And then as I exit at 6 o'clock, which it's around 6 o'clock, it's 5:45, the entity keeps the fake sun at the same venue where I'm documenting the Ontario Police, the Ontario International Airport stalking, the Ontario Fire Department, the Ontario Police Department using vehicles pacing in what is engineer light. The entity is engaging in what is this maintenance of an environment which is conducive to surveillance, and surveillance is underway with regard to an entity that has conspired to murder an American citizen. This is the prosecution of Mike Lorenz, who has conspired the murder of an American citizen that he, as a terrorist leader, masquerading as a police chief, is going to be federally prosecuted for. Maintaining a fake sun that is never going to create the light activity you see inside of the depths of this library. Never going to create this light activity ever under any circumstances. It's not the sun, it's engineered light with regard to what is both demonic that you need to know about Mike Lorenz and everybody associated with the Ontario Police Department, but it's also relevant to the entity that's acting in concert with the people of the state who are in that environment to maintain criminal surveillance like every employee and every third party, okay? That's the significance of being in this environment, excuse me. This is all crossing path, and they're all maliciously present under what is an absurdly, scientifically impossible environment. 7KTM693. This is the entity that keeps the fake sun, as I've documented, well after 6 p.m., and none of this is sunlight. None of it. This is the prosecution of the government that's gang stalking me while this fake sun is over this entrance, as you see here. Coming from the Ontario Town Square, walking to the same entrance in the morning where it is greeting me as I walk in. And the entity is engaged in what is massive surveillance, sexual violence, and furtherance of murder. And they committed kidnapping at this venue, and they're going to federal prison for it. This is P.O.C. All right, the entity is maintaining this light source, and they do so in concert with the people of the state. And this is relevant to that light activity that you're seeing that's appearing on the inside in alignment to my person, doing so while inside of the depths. And people like Mickey engaging in what is systematic monitoring. She's a psychopath stalking with noise while the entity maintains engineer light and sharing in what is kidnapping with demons that are crossing path, even in this video while they are listening to me refer to their documented criminal activity. The entity is engaging in this sexual offense with regard to the monitoring of genitalia and other sex crimes that are committed upon gang stalking as a population, as a corrupt government, and they're doing so while you're looking at the evidence. This is putting Mickey in federal prison right here. This is evidence of conspiracy to commit murder, not just being a demon and a psychopath stalking with light. It is evidence of conspiracy to commit murder while you are maintaining criminal presence with the government. License 9SDA, stalking with communication device in hand, 9SDA 457, license plate 9LYU164. Now, what you're paying attention to is, for example, when I walk outside and you see the engineered light that is appearing through the over the Wells Fargo building. This is an illusion that I've captured before, and I just want to remind you about what is already documented over Wells Fargo. it's an illusion. I documented the fake sun over a Wells Fargo this morning, and I'm walking out 5:45 p.m. and it's over the same Wells Fargo as though it's aiming sunlight into the OVITT Family Community Library. That's not. This is an illusion. This is the fake sun captured over the Wells Fargo at 240 North Euclid Avenue at 4:48 p.m. And I'm standing on the same day at 11:12 a.m. where the entity's keeping the fake sun over me, okay? This is the entity that's engaging what is stalking with a fake sun, where criminal surveillance is underway. Criminal surveillance by an entity that is regularly engaged in what is stalking as a police department. Let me remind you about those that are engaged in what is criminal surveillance with the OVITT Family Community Library. These are the terrorist leaders that are going to be prosecuted for what is targeting me in concert with venues like the OVITT Family Community Library, having already committed what is kidnapping as an entity with the intent to obstruct justice, while they keep also my own evidence proving that the government is targeting me under surveillance, and I've been subject to kidnapping by that government, targeting in concert with the very employees at that venue, kidnapping gang stalkers that call themselves police officers. They're going to federal prison. And this is going to be the federal prosecution of the domestic terrorist leader, Mike Lorenz, targeting and requiring a population to be under circumstances such as a fake sun from 11 to 4 o'clock in the evening. That's no environment where the natural sunlight and the light source that's simultaneously in Florida at some point in the day. But the entity is maintaining what is a light source that's remaining at the entrance of the OVITT Family Community Library. This is understanding the cooperative criminal system that the Ontario Police Department maintains with a state actor, that is the OVITT Family Community Library. It is currently 5:50 p.m. And what it is that I'm documenting inside of this venue is the maintenance of an ongoing pattern of conduct. And this is speaking to what is ongoing surveillance in the bathroom as well. So you need to understand that Mickey is a violent sex offender, engaging in what is stalking with a population that knows everything that I'm saying, knows everything that I'm doing, and follows me as I arrive to the venue of the OVITT Family Community Library and as I leave, which I'm also routinely documenting. Stalking me by planes and helicopters day and night. It is also underway in here while they're pacing around like psychopaths. Their mental illness is put on full display while they're surrounded in what is an absurd environment. This is the mentally ill, demon-possessed, okay? That's the significance of my shadow appearing in this manner. That is no sunlight, and the sun is not going to be over the entrance at 10, 11 in the morning and still in alignment to you while you're inside of it. This is an entity that is demon-possessed. They regularly target American citizens, and this is terrorism and targeting terrorists like the Ontario International Airport, like the Ontario Police Department, the Ontario Fire Department, and the OVITT Family Community Library. Venues and the population that shares in surveillance and furtherance of murder. That's why they're going to prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 5:52 p.m.